Good evening, and welcome to the November 1st, 2017 legislative session of the Penfield Town Board. And I will ask that everyone please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And I'll ask our clerk to please call the roll.
Hall.
Here.
LaFountain.
Here.
Metzler.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Quinn.
Here. All right, we'll start with our communications and announcements, and I'll ask our town clerk to please start.
Okay, well, we started holiday sale prices on town merchandise today. The holiday sale merchandise can be purchased through the town clerk's office or at the recreation office located at 1985 Baird Road. Also, Election Day will be next Tuesday, November 7th, from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. throughout Monroe County. If you are unsure of which polling location to go to, you can visit monroecounty.gov or call the County Board of Elections office at 753-1550. Due to the election, the mobile DMV office will not be available here at the Town Hall next Tuesday, but will return November 14th. Thank you.
Right. Mr. Quinn.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. It's time to turn our clocks back 1 hour as daylight savings time is coming to an end this Sunday, November 5th at 2 a.m. While setting your clocks back, take the opportunity to do a quick and easy review of your household emergency safety plan. Testing the batteries in your smoke alarms and CO2 detectors is the first line of defense in escaping from a house fire or gas leak. Smoke alarms should be replaced every 10 years and should be on every floor of your home and in each sleeping area. Creating and practicing an escape plan with everyone in the home is also important to help save lives. Turn the clocks back and test your alarms on November 5th. Second, the American Red Cross will be holding a blood drive from 2 to 7 p.m. on Friday, November 10th in the gym at St. Joseph's Church, 43 Gebhardt Road. This blood drive is sponsored by the Knights of Columbus. To schedule a donation appointment to help save a life during an emergency, please contact 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit www.redcrossblood.org. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Messler.
I have one announcement this evening, a seasonal reminder from our Department of Public Works. Fallen leaves that collect on top of neighborhood catch basins block rainwater from entering the storm drainage system, creating flooding in town streets. With the heavy rains this past weekend and more to come, our DPW crews wish to ask everyone to help keep their fallen leaves and other debris out of catch basins, gutters, yard inlets, and roadways. If you see a storm drain that is clogged with debris, please remove the items. Using a rake helps reach the debris without entering the roadway. Decomposing leaves that go into our streams contain unnaturally high levels of nutrients that can be very harmful to our water systems. The town performs a variety of maintenance activities throughout the year within the catch basins, and residential assistance is helpful. This is a great partnership effort with your neighbors and with the town, and we thank you for your assistance.
Thank you. Mr. Moore.
This month, the Penfield Trails Committee will be offering a free public hike on Saturday, November 11th, beginning at 10 a.m. The hike will be located at Sherwood Fields Park off Route 441. Hikers will be able to see the Commission ditch to see if it's flowing when the hike is taking place. Please meet at the lot next to the fire hall, Route 441 east of Harris Road. Participants are encouraged to pre-register by contacting Penfield Recreation 340-8655. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Cole.
I have one announcement. The Penfield Players have begun performances for their fall thriller, Michael Hollinger's Red Herring, directed by Don Bartolo. Shows will be held for the next 2 weekends at the Community Center on Baird Road. Curtain call will be at 8 p.m. with the matinee performance on Sunday, November 5th at 2 p.m. For tickets, visit penfieldplayers.org or call 340-8655 or purchase a ticket at the door the evening of the performance. Come enjoy Red Herring with the Penfield Players beginning October 27th. Thank you.
Thank you. Move on to public participation. 2 opportunities to address the board on any matter at this time and again at the end of the agenda. You can do that one of 3 ways. If you're here in the audience, you can address the board at the podium. You can call in at 340-8771, or you can log on at penfield.org. Is there anyone that would like to address the board on any matter? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to additions and deletions to the agenda. Seeing no comments from board members, we'll move on to approval of minutes. We have two sets of minutes. I'll take the October 4th set of minutes first. That would entertain a motion of approval.
I move the minutes October 4th be approved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, I would ask our clerk for a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
And we have the October 11th minutes before us, and again, would entertain a motion of approval of those minutes.
I'll move.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Again, any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, I would ask for a roll call vote of approval.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Has the town board, town attorney, or town clerk received any petitions since our last meeting? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to resolution by function. We'll start with law and finance, please.
2017 budget transfers, reconciliations.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas transfers of funds are necessary for reconciliation as year-end approaches. Whereas the town board desires to have an up-to-date budget in relation to current income and expenditures. Be it resolved that the following budget transfers are approved. In contingency, the $68,800, and in retirement, $130,500. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion on this resolution? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Budget amendment in the sewer fund.
Moved.
Second.
The Penfield Sewer Department receives funds from the town of Sodus for use of Penfield sewer equipment during summer flooding. Whereas said funds will be used to replace worn hoses, worn hoses used for flooding events. Now be it resolved that the following 2017 budget amendment is approved. The amount of $868 for revenue to appropriations of $868. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Adoption of local law number 3 of 2017 entitled Mixed Use District.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the 2010 Penfield Comprehensive Plan recommended that the creation of a mixed-use zoning district along Route 250 in the areas identified on the map attached to this resolution. Whereas the town board created a committee to assist town staff in the development of a mixed-use district zoning ordinance amendment to provide guidance in the development of properties and recommend which properties would be included in the mixed-use district. Whereas a public hearing was held pursuant to the Penfield zoning ordinance on May 4th, 2016 at the Penfield Town Hall at 7 p.m. Whereas the Penfield Town Board is lead agency, determined that the proposed local law, including the rezoning of 360 plus or minus acres to mixed-use district, together with the proposed acceptance of the mixed-use district development manual, may have a significant impact on the environment. If adopted and therefore prepared a positive declaration of significance and subsequently prepared a draft scoping outline for the creation of the draft generic environmental impact statement to issue the identified in the scoping process as set forth in section 6.178 and 6.17.10 of the seeker. Mr. LaFountain, I would just like to mention that the zoning district, or the mixed-use district, was a committee put together of citizens in Penfield. It was residents that live or own the properties in the zoning district. It was also representatives of neighborhood associations in the different neighborhoods surrounding the properties in question. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? I think the only other comment that I would like to make, this is a process that we started in 2015. I would like to recognize not only the committee that was made up of volunteers across the town in this area, as well as our town staff that worked so diligently on this project as well. And it's a culmination of 2 years going through the process of not only reviews, the seeker process, but also a large amount of reviews via public hearings and other public sessions. So seeing no further discussion, and at this point, then I would ask for a roll call vote on Resolution 190.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Acceptance of the Mixed-Use District Development Manual.
Moved.
Second.
For the record, Mr. Supervisor, this basically is the same resolution with the same, same wording. I just would like to point out on page 2, where it says, "Now therefore be resolved that the Penfield Town Board accepts the Mixed-Use District Development Manual as a planning tool which will provide town staff, officials, and the public as a guide for reference and consideration in future land use decisions affecting properties within the mixed-use district." Again, as you stated and as I pointed out in the last resolution, this was vetted quite extensively by the public at public hearings and by the resident committee that was constructed by this town board. And I would support this manual moving forward, and I think that it's a good move for the town to take a look at this and use it as guidance in future development on these properties. The mixed-use committees, again, were comprised of residents in the town of Penfield, whether neighborhood representatives or property owners of the properties in question, and these were recommendations that they made to this town board. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion from the board? Okay, seeing none, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement to allow a fence within a drainage easement at 9 Shadow Creek.
Moved.
Second.
Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Penfield hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement with Michael and Genevieve Steefolk, owners of the property at 9 Shadow Creek. The permit a portion of a fence to encroach on a drainage easement at, at 9 Shadow Creek. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. This matter was reviewed at our last work session, and this is just bringing the resolution for myself to sign that particular hold harmless agreement. Seeing no further discussion, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement to allow a fence within a drainage easement at 225 Milford Crossing.
Moved.
Second.
Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Penfield hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement with Timothy Porter and Laura Martin, owners of 225 Milford Crossing, to permit a portion of a fence to encroach in a drainage easement. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. Again, reviewed this at our last work session. See no further comments, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for town supervisor to sign a professional service contract with Stanton Landscaping Corporation for stream bank repairs and tree removals.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the town of Penfield sought quotes for professional tree and landscaping services to perform work at locations on Pineview and Clearview Drive in the town of Penfield. Whereas 3 quotes were obtained and Stanton Landscaping Corporation was the low bidder. Be resolved that Stanton Landscape Corporation is awarded a contract to provide professional services for stream bank repairs and tree removal at various locations on Pineview and Clearview Drive. Be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign a contract for professional services not to exceed $15,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. See no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign an intermunicipal agreement with the County of Monroe for agreement of local, municipal, and subdivision matters exempt from Sections 239M and 239N of Article 12B of General Municipal Law.
Moved.
Second.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Penfield hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign an intermunicipal agreement with the County of Monroe that identifies certain matters that are of local rather than intercommunity or intercounty concerns, and therefore should be deleted from the Monroe County Department of Planning and Development review process pursuant to Sections 239M and 239N of Article 12-B of the General Municipal Law. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. I think it's just worth noting on this particular item, I give a lot of credit to Mark Valentine and Jim Costello that worked so hard on this. This exempts things like signs that really do not have any other community or the county required approvals. And it helps the process to be vetted out here locally and turnaround time a lot quicker than what it would normally be, which is a minimum of 30 days. So the county is very excited about this and the initiative that Penfield took. And again, just like to recognize Jim Costello and Mark Valentine for their work on this. Seeing no further discussion, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorizing bond counsel and environmental counsel regarding the financing of the acquisition of approximately 211.70 acres of land known as Shadow Pines Golf Club.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the Town of Penfield is in need of assistance from bond counsel and environmental counsel services in conjunction with the proposed borrowing for the acquisition of approximately 211 acres of land located at the site known as Shadow Pines Golf Club. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board accepts the proposal from Harris Beach Attorneys at Law as provided in the letter dated October 19th, 2017. Be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to enter into a contract for these services, the terms of which are set forth in the above referenced proposal letter. Funding for these services will be reimbursed by the proposed borrowing of these funds during 2018. Thank you.
Discussion.
I'd just like to thank you, Mr. Supervisor, for taking the leadership to keep this process moving forward as quickly as we can and getting bond counsel going so that we can keep moving towards the acquisition of the property. Thank you.
And I would just add, Mr. Supervisor, I fully support this resolution. I think this is important for the future of Penfield, and I would also echo Councilman Moore's comments, not only for your day-to-day leadership, Supervisor, with regards to many activities, but this one in particular, but also the vision you have for Penfield that we all share as a town board. This is an important step. This is important for Penfield in our future. Thank you.
Further discussion. Seeing no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Designated representative to Monroe County Environmental Management Council.
Moved. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're stealing my thunder.
I need a second.
You got excited.
Is there a second?
I will second. Yes. Thank you.
And I'll pause after your second. Be it resolved that Paul Sugnett be designated to serve on the Monroe County Environmental Management Council as representative of the Town of Penfield Conservation Board for a 2-year term to expire December 31st, 2018.
Thank you. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement to allow access and utilization of the property at 26 Tall Tree Drive.
Moved.
Second.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Penfield authorizes the supervisor to sign a license and hold harmless agreement with Richard and Barbary Bosek, owners of the property at 44 Tall Tree Drive, to permit their contractor to access and utilize the town property located at 26 Tall Tree Drive in a form and substance acceptable to the town attorney.
Discussion. Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Adopting Monroe County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
So moved.
Second.
Whereas the Federal Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000 requires all local governments to have an approved disaster mitigation plan in place in order to be eligible for federal hazard mitigation grant program funding. And whereas Monroe County has authored a multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan with assistance from local municipalities, including the town of Penfield. And whereas through its participation, the town of Penfield affirms the Monroe County Hazard Mitigation Plan is in compliance with the Federal Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Penfield adopts the Monroe County Hazard Mitigation Plan for use in executing hazard mitigation within the town of Penfield. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. See no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler. Aye. Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization to accept box turf field bid.
So moved.
Second.
The town of Penfield was awarded a grant from Senator Funke for $80,000, and the awarded grant will be administered by the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York. And whereas sealed bids were sought and requested to the town of Penfield Recreation Department for the purchase of a box turf field in Rothfuss Park. On Monday, September 18th at 11 a.m., sealed bids were opened by the Director of Recreation and Town Clerk for the following vendor: All Sports Enterprises, 89 South Village Ave, Exton, PA. Now be it resolved that the bid for the box turf field at Rothfuss Park be accepted for the vendor with a cost to not exceed $98,175. Be it further resolved that the bid specifications and the bid documents submitted by the formal contract to be reviewed and approved by the town attorney.
Thank you. Discussion. See no discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
This takes us through our resolutions. The next item on the agenda is old business. Is there any old business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none. Is there any new business to come before the board this evening? Again, seeing none. This is the second opportunity for public participation. Again, if you're here in the audience, you can address the board on any matter. You can phone in at 340-8771 or log on at penfield.org. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on any matter? Okay. Seeing no further business to come before this board, the November 1st, 2017 legislative session of the town board stands adjourned at 7:26 p.m. Thank you to everyone that participated. Thank you to Penfield TV.